advocate for healing because when you heal, it makes it easier. The pain doesn't just go all of a sudden, but to a minimal level, it will go. Some of the things that when you react, the person doesn't understand where you're coming from, the kind of decisions you are supposed to take. Now, when you react and the person understands, oh, okay, maybe this person is not in the mood, because you always have mood swings. If people who don't understand you will wonder, why should you say you have a mood swing? Why would you be very lively in the morning and by afternoon the mood has changed? Anything can happen, and yes, and you become very moody. Sometimes you are even moody, you don't even want to talk to your own children. You tell them just go, 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 go. Maybe something, maybe you're reading a book, anything can trigger you. You can be listening to somebody and you get triggered. You can be watching TV and you get triggered. Now the triggers are not as bad as it used to be before. Before, once I hear the case of any child who has been sexually molested, I just begin to have flashbacks and I recoil into my shell, and it takes a lot to bring me out again. But now I'm in a better place now because I still talk to my therapist now. Like I say, healing, it's a process, it's a journey. It's not a one-day thing, but you get better. Even your life becomes more productive. Your life, you are happy for yourself that, oh, you will know that I'm a lot better than the way I was before. Even I was speaking to my mentor yesterday. Yesterday I was talking to my mentor and I said to her, if I know what I know now 5 years ago, some of the decisions I took, even business decisions I took when I was not healed, I am regretting those decisions now. And I said to her, if I had healed, yes, if I had healed before I took that decision, my life would not have spiraled the way it did. Yes, yes, I would have made informed decisions, because now I look back and I'm wondering, Antonia, and you made this decision. How could you have even made how? I want to blame myself sometimes, but I said to myself, at that point in time, I didn't know better. I took that decision based on the way I was feeling that time. So getting help to heal, I think, is the number one, is very pivotal in the life of a survivor of child sexual abuse.
All right, thank you so much, sis. Thank you for that. So now I want us to talk about the society. How do you think the society enables abuse? Do you think as society, especially in Nigeria, in fact, not just Nigeria, because we have a lot of predators, we have a lot of pedophiles all over the world. So I don't think the abuse of a child is actually peculiar to Nigeria. But so let's talk about the way as society, do you think as society enables abuse of a girl child?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, our society enables abuse because it is the society that would stigmatize somebody who is abused and allow the perpetrator to walk freely. It is the society that will tell somebody who has been abused to shut up. They will applaud the perpetrator. For instance, there was a celebrated case in Nigeria. I always make reference to these two cases. The case of Busola Dakolo, when she spoke out. Nigeria practically shut this girl up. It was just a few survivors who understand what she was going through, a few people who stood with her, but the general public told her to shut up because of the person involved. And you see, cases of abuse like this will continue to thrive when society judges, stigmatizes, and shames the abused, but you applaud, you hail, and you twirl it to the perpetrator. And the perpetrator walks away freely. And you see, then we have the case of Dibanj and Shaitan. That one, I was fully involved in that case, and I saw oppression at the highest level. The day the IGP police team was brought in from Abuja to come and terrorize and harass this girl and her family when she was kidnapped, I was fully involved. Yes, it was horrible. I never knew that that kind of a situation would happen. This girl was so bullied. This girl was She was bullied to the point that she had to recount that she's not doing again. And the society still judged her. You know, the perpetrator had so much
Exactly.
money, he
I know
got
they
a
said that she withdrew, that she came back to say it was a lie or something, something. I think that was when I stopped following the case. Because I think they said she came back to say it did not happen, that it was a lie. Okay, I think we lost her there for a few minutes. So while we wait for her to come back, I hope you guys are getting a thing or two, especially if you have girl children, if you have the girl, if you have a girl. So okay, she's back.
yes,
So you were talking about the case of the Banja and Shaitan, and I said I thought they said
yes.
she recounted and said it didn't happen.
She was bullied. She was bullied to a point that they made her say it. I can tell you, they made her say all of that. The power tussle. By the time he got the senior advocate of Nigeria and slammed her with the 10 billion naira lawsuit, this
Wow.
girl is just a young girl who sells her stuff online. You know, her mom was also bullied. The day she was arrested and taken to the SAS office at Haroshodi GRA Ikeja here, we were on our way, myself and another advocate, we were on our way to the police station when we heard that she had been kidnapped. When they picked her, that the day she was picked, they were asking for so much money for her to be bailed. It took me calling one of the mamas in one of the matriarchs in the gender-based space,
Mm-hmm.
Josephine Project Alert. It took that woman to press all the buttons she had. If not, only God knows what would have happened to that girl that day she was arrested. You know, so cases like, yes, now that thing really broke the hearts of a lot of survivors, because now it's beginning to look like perpetrator has the upper hand once they have money. So the abused is bullied. Social media is not even helping because now the perpetrator is using the platform of social media to expose the abused.
Okay, so I think our network is gone again, and I'll just say for me, it's somehow like a somber and a reflective moment for me, because I, I I will own up and say that when she recounted, I was part of those people
Uh,
that said, so it actually did not happen. So why did she say it did? So I was part of
it
those
did
people that said
happen.
that. Oh wow. Because when
It
she
did happen.
recounted, yes,
It
when she
did happen.
recounted and she said it was a lie, they were all lies and all that, I was angry. I was like, why would you think about doing something like that to someone?
The the it um it takes someone who is strong emotionally, who is strong, a dogged person, to be able to stand up to a bully.
Mm, mm.
Yes,
So she
the
was
girl,
bullied.
the girl is just a young girl, easygoing. Yes, she's not a stubborn girl. She's not she's not a stubborn child. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's just an easygoing child. You know, it the bully, yes, the intimidation was too much. The
Mm-hmm.
intimidation was so much. You know, she was intimidated to say all those things,
Things.
because I know I can tell you that particular case. I can tell you that for free.
Mm. Wow. All right.
So
Thank you
we
so much.
what survivors need is, we need a society that supports survivors,
Yes.
not pull down the
Stigmatize
survivor.
them.
Because now the sad thing is, you stigmatize the person who has gone through the abuse. It makes her healing process more, his or her healing process more difficult, because now we're finding out that a lot of men too were sexually abused when they were growing up, but because they've been socialized not to talk about their pain, it's easier for a woman to come out and say I was sexually abused as a child than for a man to say it. If a man says that, a lot of people would laugh at him. A lot of people will jeer at him. A lot of people will sneer at him. And what the hell is he saying? So you have the men who are speaking up are not as much as the women who are speaking up. We need to provide support. Yes, all a survivor needs is support, and that support is for you to be non-judgmental, for you to create a safe space for her, for him, or for her. For them to know that, okay, this thing that happened is not my fault. But you see, with what we're saying now, I saw a post today and I cringed. Someone sent it to me, and a man was trying to describe what rape is. The man was trying to explain that if you know the person and the person knows you, and you have spoken to the person before, and then one thing led to another, maybe you don't want the sex and the person cajoled you without your consent, that no, don't see it as rape. And I was wondering that, don't you understand, if you have any sexual intercourse with somebody without their consent, it is rape. And he was trying, he broke it down. It was a long post, and I just kept wondering that, and this thing makes a lot of sense to you, sir.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I think our society needs to be sensitized. I think they need to be educated. Because when
That's why that's why you have people like you talking.
yes,
Yes.
yes. And I thank you for what you're doing, because a lot of people don't know what you're talking about. So when you see posts like that, at times I see posts like that, what I have come to realize is most of them only speak or type or write from their own understanding. So, which is why I
Yeah.
think we need to
Yes.
educate the society, we need to sensitize the society and let them know the damage that this thing is doing to homes, to marriages. Because I know now, like when I did my story, the host for that day asked me how I think it's going to affect my other relationship. And I can relate it to being abused, because I know what I'm going through in my marriage will definitely affect my other relationship. I just have to be intentional about it, not affecting
Yeah.
it. So now let's put someone that was abused in that position and think about how it's going to affect their own marriage or affect their own relationship. So part of why I do this is sensitizing the society, to let them know that the green is not always green out. It might be green for you, but on the other side, actually, it's not green. It's not greener. So I'm
Yeah.
thankful for what you do. I'm just putting that out there to say thank you for what you do. Thank you for standing in for the abuse. Thank you for taking it up, because believe me, it's a challenge for you to have gone through something and to now decide to fight against it. It's not something easy. So thank you. So let's talk about we said we need to sensitize our society. How do you think we need to sensitize society? And how do we sensitize even the girl child to be aware of all these things? Because most of the time they are so naive. They are just going out there doing their own thing, sleeping anyhow, putting on whatever they want to do. 12, 13 girls, right? They really don't know much. Even though we want to say that technology has exposed them to a lot of things, but deep down they are still naive. So how do you think we should sensitize our society and then
Yeah.
sensitize the girl child?
Before COVID came, what we used to do was we go to schools, we go to churches, and we go to some associations, like we went to talk to Actors Guild of Nigeria, to sensitize them about the kind of films they should churn out, because whether we like it or not, the kind of films these Nollywood people act also has a way of affecting the way things are being seen from the lens of the film. So, but when COVID came, it now made it difficult, going out. I, for one, because I have an underlying ailment, I don't go out again like before, and I know that a lot of people don't even go out again. I tried to go to a school yesterday for something else, and by the time I called the head of admin in that school, she said, "Oh, sorry, we don't entertain visitors again. Somebody will call you." you know so now we really can't move to schools the way we used to go to. That's notwithstanding, so what we try to do is talk to the mothers, if you educate the mothers so that the mothers can also talk to the children, you know when we used to go to schools, it was easier for us to be able to talk to the children, and the children would ask questions. You know, these children will ask you questions that will throw you off balance, and you're wondering, oh my god, oh my god. But now we're trying to see what we're going to do. And again, we have meetings with religious organizations to encourage the Muslim clerics and the Christian leaders, so that in their various churches and their mosques, they would talk about it. We had one last month. It was organized by Center for Women's Rights and Health and Spotlight Initiative. So they brought in religious leaders from the Christian and the Muslim faith. Then they brought survivors like myself and Muslim survivors also to come speak to them, so that you're not just reading this. When you see somebody
Yes.
who tells you how this thing has affected them both mentally and physically, and you're able to touch the person that, oh, really? I never knew. There's a difference between you reading something and you really seeing
Yeah.
that person
Yes.
physically to say, okay, this has happened. So now, one of the things the clergymen said was they were going to go to their individual churches and their mosques. They would begin to sensitize from the pulpit, because the truth is, in Africa and especially in Nigeria, our clerics, they hold a great space in our hearts, so
Yes.
we're
Yes.
trying to we do all of that, yes, because if you hear it from the pulpit, if your cleric tells you, your pastor tells you, oh, this thing is wrong, this thing is not wrong, because we're a religious society, but the kind of atrocities that is going on is sickening, is heartbreaking, and it's so sad that with all our religiosity, all of these are still happening. So we cannot stop advocating. We will keep advocating. Thank God for spaces like social media, where you can just easily put stuff like this, and people would read, and some people would help you share it, so that more people will read. So, but I think we're getting there. 5 years ago, we were not really talking about this like this. We're not really having these kind of conversations, because the truth is, these conversations are difficult conversations. So now we have more people coming to talk. Yes, we have more people coming to talk, to say, oh, okay, this happened. And most of the time, when you see me post on Facebook, I can tell you for free that in a day at least, I would get like 5 people reaching out to me on
Wow.
a daily basis. The minimum 5 of years. So we will think that it's not making any impact, but it's really, really making. The
Yes.
ones who haven't healed, they reach out. How can I get a therapy? How can I start my counseling process? I want to heal. I know that this is affecting me. Oh, I read something on your page and I can relate that. Oh, okay, now I understand why I'm behaving the way I'm behaving. So we will just keep doing our own little bits. When COVID came, like I said, the number of cases now skyrocketed. So the Inspector General of Police actually said that they had officially 773 cases that were reported. And in
Wow.
Anambra State, we had a case. We had eight. We had those were the official numbers. Those were the official numbers. Now imagine the unofficials, the people who did not go to the police to go and
To
report.
report.
Now, why did I say this? A lot of parents are beginning to know. Yes, a lot of people, and a lot of parents are beginning to realize now that sexual violence is no more a family issue. So they take the child, they go to the police station, and they report it as a crime. In Anambra State, during the lockdown, we had 80 cases of father-daughter relationship which were officially reported. Imagine the ones that were not reported. Before now, cases like this never used to go to the police station. So in a state like Lagos State, where I live, you have three sexual assault referral centers. Now we're having sexual assault referral centers springing up all over the states. We have some states that have two, we have some states that have one, but we have three in Lagos State. That is to say that even the government is beginning to realize that sexual violence should be made as top priority.
Yes.
Governor Fayemi, after the lockdown, yes, he declared a state of emergency on sexual violence. Now, in Lagos State, you have police stations designated to handle cases of gender-based violence. So you have police stations where officers are trained. So you have gender desk in this office, in these police stations. So you just don't go to the police station and talk to the man at the counter. When you get to the police station and you want to report a case of sexual violence or domestic violence, you just tell the officer there that I would like to speak to the officer in charge of gender. Once you just mention the word gender, there's an officer that is trained by the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Offences Response Team. That officer has been trained to handle the cases of sexual violence. They know what to do. They know how to guide you. Formally, what people why people don't like going to the police station is, if you go to the police station now that you want to report a case of sexual violence, it's either the police people, they don't understand, so they make fun of you, and they begin to ask the girl questions like, what were you wearing, why
Yeah.
did you go to his
His
house,
house.
why did you visit him when you knew you were not going to have sex with him? Yes, so now the police also are being trained. So but we also have what is called the family support unit in some police stations. Also, those ones handle domestic violence cases. So I think the more we're talking, even the government is getting to realize that, oh yes. So in Lagos State, we have Mirabel Center, which is located inside Lasut. So if anybody, most people who are abused now, they know that, okay, you have to go to a government owned facility, because if you go to a private facility, the police will not accept the report to work with it. So just go to a government owned facility. And a lot of people are beginning to do that now. The enlightenment and the advocacy is working. We haven't gotten to where we're going to, but we
But it's
certainly
better.
are not where we were 5 years ago. Yes.
That's good. Thank you so much. Thank you so so much. So let's just, because we have
You're
like
welcome.
10 minutes left. Let's just talk about your NGO. Can
Okay.
you just give us a little bit of details about your NGO?
Okay, so what we do is we provide support and counseling for survivors. And it was born out of my own experience after I came back from therapy. I told you I checked myself into a mental health home. So after I came back, I just realized that, oh, you have a lot of adults like me who went through child sexual abuse and they have not healed. So it's a safe place. It's a not no judgment, non-judgmental environment where you can come, and it's for women. It's for women. So you come, you meet your sisters who have gone through what you have gone through, and you have never spoken before. If you want to talk, you tell your story and you begin your journey. We have counselors and therapists that work with us pro bono, so you can start your journey to wellness, because we know that once you live again. But in 2020, we began to do interventions. So now we intervene in cases immediately it happens. So one of the things we now do now is, the Lagos State government has recognized us as first responders for sexual violence in Lagos
Oh
State.
wow.
So we work with Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Offences Response Team, yes. And we're also working with the Federation of International Women Lawyers, FIDA. We are affiliated also with them. So they also give us lawyers pro bono who help to fight the cases. So now, from formerly we just provide counseling and therapy, but now from the intervention stage, once the perpetrator, we arrest perpetrators now. We go to the courts, we follow up with our cases until judgment and justice is served.
Serve.
So like on the 24th, one of our cases coming up. So that is what we basically do.
Okay, all right. Thank you so so much, sis. And your NGO is called Bruised but Not Broken, right?
You're welcome.
I think that's the name.
Sonia bruised but not broken.
Sonia Bruised but Not Broken. All right. Thank you for all you do. We appreciate you. We thank you for taking up the challenge, like I said earlier, because it
Thank
is a
you.
challenge to go through something and to decide and say, no, this other person is not going to go through it. And actually, that is actually why I think I came up with this mini series of my story on Real Talk with Odun, because I found out that there are a lot of lessons
Fantastic. Well done.
that, yes, thank you. There are a lot of lessons that people need to learn. They need to hear you and to learn from you. It's never easy to sit down
Yeah.
and to talk about what you've been through. Because you are even so strong. When I was telling my own story, I think I broke down twice. I cried on air twice. So I'm a very
Oh,
strong person. So it's not easy to sit down and talk about. It's not something that is easy to sit down and talk about. But it's just the drive
no, it's
to
not. It's
to
not.
not let someone go through it,
Mm.
to not let someone think. In fact, some people might actually think
Yeah.
something
You
is
don't want
wrong
another
with them.
person to go through it.
Yes, so it's just that desire for you,
Mm-hmm.
to just help that next person that might be going through what you are going through and don't know what to do, or don't know who to talk to, or don't know how to go about it. So thank you so much, Antonia. We really, really appreciate your time, and we know it's way past your bedtime.
Thank
You
you.
know, the 9 p.m. was a big so much. So
Yes, it was. I'm feeling sleepy already.
I know, I know, which is why I keep checking my laptop to check the time. So just give us your final thoughts and then we'll run this up.
Okay. Thank you so much once again for having me. I'm very grateful. So my last word today is to every survivor out there. To know that you survive abuse, you will survive the recovery. And I also want you to know that the shame does not belong to you. The shame belongs to the perpetrator and not you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So Yvada, she said it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not because of what you're wearing or what you're not wearing. It's not because of the way you walk.
Yes,
You
it's
walk
not
a
your fault.
certain way or
It's not.
whatever. It is not your fault. So I know
Yes,
it's
it's not your
very
fault.
difficult for you
Yes.
not to be ashamed,
Yeah.
especially when you're in a society like Nigeria where you get stigmatized. Even not just Nigeria, social media has made it easy for everyone to just sit behind their keypad and type all sort of things. So I'm just telling you, like Tonya said, it is not your
And
fault.
type rubbish. Yeah.
Yes, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. So don't let someone say, why did you go to his house, or what were you wearing? Were you wearing a short skirt? Were you showing this? Were you showing that? It is the abuser's fault. So I am just going to say, reach out to people that can help you. Ask for help. Ask for help. If you don't know what to do or how to go about it, you can actually Google Tonia's foundation, Tonia Bruised but Not Broken. And I know there are 1,001 other foundations that are out there ready to welcome you, to not condemn you, to not stigmatize you, to not judge you. So please, this is from me, from my heart. Ask for help. Reach out to people that can help you. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining us today. It's been a very, very, very somber. Like I have a lot of thoughts going on in my mind, but I just can't put them down because that means we'll be sitting down here the whole day. So thank you for always tuning in. Thank you for always joining us.
Yeah.
Like I always say, you can follow us on Facebook. Is Real Talk with Odun. You can follow us also on Instagram, Real Talk with Odun. And then on YouTube is Glimpse Extra. Don't go looking for Real Talk with Odun on YouTube. There's no Real Talk with Odun on YouTube. It is Glimpse Extra. I always tell you that this is powered by a media house. It is powered by Glimpse Extra. So if you want to watch this on YouTube, you have to look for Glimpse Extra. And then as always, give us a thumbs up. Tell us we are doing the right thing. Tell us we are getting across to you people. And let us know that we are helping out in our own little way. Like this issue of abuse, this is our own way of helping. This is our own way of bringing people to talk about it and to also help whoever is going through or has gone through it. So until next time, until next week when I come your way, when we come your way with another topic, with another exciting and interesting guest. My name is still Odun Akerele. I'm still your friend. I'm still your sister. I'm someone else's daughter, and I am your fellow woman. See you next time. Bye.